I want you to take a moment and think about your biggest fear. The one thing in your life that keeps you up at night that you avoid talking about. The thing that makes your heart race every time you even think about it. Maybe it's the fear of failure or rejection. Or maybe it's the fear of being vulnerable, of showing the world who you truly are. Now, I want you to imagine for a moment. What if that fear, the one that feels like a heavy weight, the one that paralyzes you, was actually the key to unlocking your greatest strength? What if the very thing you're afraid of is the doorway to becoming the person you're meant to be? What if your fear is not something to be avoided, but rather something to be embraced? I know it sounds like a strange thought, but hear me out. Fear is not our enemy. We've been taught that fear is something to conquer, something to defeat, something to move past. But what if fear wasn't something we had to defeat at all? What if it was a signal, a guidepost pointing us in the direction we need to go? Take a moment and think about those moments in your life when you were most scared. Those moments when you thought you couldn't move forward. But you did. You pushed through. And in doing so, you discovered a strength inside you that you never knew existed. Maybe you were terrified to take a risk, but you did it anyway. And that risk turned into an opportunity you never imagined. Or maybe you were afraid of being judged, but you showed your true self. And in doing so, you attracted the people who saw you for who you really were, not who you pretended to be. The truth is, fear is often a sign that we are about to step into something that will change us forever. The discomfort we feel in the face of fear is not a sign that we should turn back. It's a sign that we are on the verge of transformation. Let me share a story with you. There's a type of butterfly that goes through one of the most intense transformations in the natural world. It starts off as a caterpillar, living its life, eating leaves, moving slowly. But then, it enters the cocoon, and for a time it seems as if nothing is happening. From the outside, the cocoon is just a still, quiet shell. But inside, the caterpillar is fighting. It is breaking down, reshaping itself, struggling to emerge. And in that struggle, in the face of its greatest challenge, it gains the strength to fly. Now, think about this. If you were to intervene and open that cocoon before the butterfly has had a chance to struggle, it would never fly. Its wings would remain weak, and it would never know the strength it gained in the process. What if the same is true for us? What if the struggles we face, the fears we experience, are the very things that make us stronger, that prepare us to spread our wings and soar? It's easy to look at our fears and see them as roadblocks. But what if we started to look at them as opportunities? What if we recognized that behind every fear is a chance to grow, to become more than we ever thought possible? I want to ask you this. What's one thing in your life that scares you right now? Maybe it's the idea of stepping into a new job. Maybe it's speaking in front of a crowd. Or maybe it's simply being vulnerable with someone you care about. I want you to stop seeing that fear as something to avoid. Instead, I want you to see it as your greatest strength in the making. Because behind every fear is a lesson, a gift waiting to be unlocked. And the only way to access it is to face it head-on. Fear is not something that stops you. Fear is something that moves you, pushes you outside of your comfort zone, into the unknown. And yes, it's uncomfortable, but it's in that discomfort that the magic happens. The truth is, you were never meant to stay in your comfort zone forever. You were meant to grow, to evolve, to change. And the only way to do that is to step into the unknown, to face the fear, and to realize that you are capable of more than you ever thought possible. So, the next time you feel fear creeping in, don't run from it. Don't try to push it away. Instead, ask yourself, what is this fear trying to teach me? What is it preparing me for? Because I promise you this, on the other side of fear is a version of you that is stronger, wiser, and more capable than you ever imagined. Your biggest fear, the one that seems impossible to overcome, is actually your greatest strength in disguise. Embrace it, learn from it, and watch as it transforms you into the person you were always meant to be.